Hey everybody, and welcome back to Split Couch Games. I'm Scott,
I'm Ben.
and we're gonna talk about DMCA and stuff again. Woo!
Because that is our favorite topic. As a matter of fact, we're probably going to be changing the name of this channel to DMCA Couch.
Ooh, like how about like DMCA, but it's like dedicated, some like
You
mono.
really should have come up with something before you started that train of thought.
But you said the thought, and I was like, oh, okay, but it's like dedicated money, or like not money, but like mono, copyright or mono cat. Yeah. Anyway, sure. Shut up, Ben. Tell us your best acronym that we could use as DMCA. But anyway, we're not going to be talking about or we might mention it, but the Alex whatever story. I don't know if you followed that at all.
Oh,
I just found out about it today. Alex Maurer, that's the name.
Yeah, I followed it a little bit, but I mean, like, I haven't actually seen any articles on it or anything. I've just, like, heard from people.
That's pretty much where I'm at.
And my understanding is that there's a game or a couple of games or something that this person did like sound work for, and
compose music and stuff.
Yeah, and they're the ones issuing all the copyright claims and everything, which is shitty, but whatever.
And like I think like the reasoning is that they want to get YouTubers to fight for them. I don't. It's the whole thing, and like they're like I was thinking about we could talk about that, but there's so much that I don't know. That like I don't feel comfortable talking about it, even more so than normal.
Yeah, I feel like that would take like an entire day of researching and reading, like just to kind of have a little bit of an understanding of what's going on. But you know, maybe
anyway,
that's
so we're not going to be talking about that one. But
too late. We already have.
Capcom.
Oh,
for the record, Ben just did finger guns.
I also haven't had any coffee yet.
Oh, well, that's either good or bad. We'll see what happens. Anyway, so we have two fans of the Ace Attorney game series have a YouTube channel.
Their names are O and Garbage.
Yeah. The name of the YouTube channel is, I'm going to butcher this, and I'm just going to put the name on the screen. I just bumped my mic. Put the name on the screen so you guys can read it, and then maybe we'll even link to their YouTube channel or something in the description. But it's Dai Yukaten Saibon.
Sounds about right.
Sure.
Sure.
Which is also the name of the game that was taken down from their channel, which basically what they did is they took the game of the same name and uploaded it to YouTube, but added subtitles using the YouTube subtitle tool to basically localize it because it was not released anywhere outside of Japan. So fans of the series in America, unless they had a imported 3DS and the ability to understand Japanese, they just never got the story.
Yeah. Now, it is important to note, if you ask me, that this is an Ace Attorney game. Mm-hmm. Which, I don't know if you've ever played any of them or anything like that. They're very linear and story-driven. So, even outside of, we're only doing this to translate it, I feel like they're justified in claiming copyright on this. Just simply because it is such a linear game. And I mean, frankly, maybe I'm wrong, you know, like maybe they aren't as linear as what I have perceived them to be.
I mean, there's several, so like maybe there's differences and stuff.
Yeah. But I mean, from what I understand, they are very linear games. You know, there may be like different outcomes for things, I don't really know, but because it is such a linear game and everything, it would make sense that they get copyright claimed just simply because at that point, like, you potentially are taking a sale from the company as opposed to promoting it, especially in an instance where, you know, they can't really get the game anyways, but in an instance like this where they can't, actually understand it and everything. But I mean, there are reasons usually for companies not releasing certain titles outside of their home region. And they are potentially reasons that, I'm not saying that that's the case here, but sometimes games aren't released outside of their local region simply because of rules and regulations and that kind of thing. There are countries where, nudity and that kind of thing is a little more commonplace and acceptable. So, like, their local games may have that as a more prevalent feature, but elsewhere, it's not really a good thing. I mean, I know that, like, in Russia right now, any game that has any sort of, LGBTQ relationship, even if it's, like, not a primary character, but just, like, a side character that you talk to on occasion, that the existence of that relationship in Russia is enough to earn it a mature rating and potentially get it banned. So, I mean, there are cultural reasons for games not to be sent to certain countries and everything.
Australia, you can't have, like, any blood at all. Or something like that. Like, they're super, violence is...
They're way less strict now than what they used to be.
Okay, yeah.
Because they used to not really have any sort of, like, mature rating. It used to just pretty much be like a everybody and teen kind of equivalent. And then anything above that was, banned or adults only. And obviously adults only means that you can't sell it at retail locations and all that kind of bullshit. Like, it can't be advertised, everything.
I mean, I just remember when Left 4 Dead came out.
Yeah.
That was the big one that they...
Yeah.
Were just
no. To help kind of give it context, Outlast 2 came out in Australia, and it's the same version that everybody else got.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, because they changed their rating system. So
I'm not up to date on my Australian.
Why not, ratings, Scott? Come on.
It's almost like I don't live there, but it's good to know. I'm glad that they're getting games as they're intended. But anyway. Yeah, I am pretty much in agreement with you on this, but that doesn't make for a super interesting podcast, so I'm going to throw some devil's advocacy out there. See, because advocate, like, Phoenix Wright, lawyer game. Okay. So, first of all, I'm in agreement with you because they just uploaded the game. Like, that's not a Let's Play. And, like, because of that, like, it's not transformative work. Like, when you're dealing with copyright, you have to either be transformative, educational, review, and what's the other one?
I can't quite remember, but I mean, the
news
point
or something
like that. But I mean, your point is that they offer something in addition to the gameplay
what was
content.
already there.
Yeah.
Like when we do Let's Play, like even Gears of War, like you said, like you were saying that it's a linear game. Like Gears of War, our Let's Play is a very linear experience, like linear story, but we add, arguably, we add something to it. Like
I add comedic genius. Thank you very much.
Something.
Anyways, that being said, just kind of a little side note here. Did you know that not only do these specific Let's Plays exist, but they seem to be gaining some sort of popularity, and those are Let's Plays that have no commentary.
But that's...
Right? Like, at that point, like, you literally are violating copyright.
Okay, devil's advocate here, I guess. Your individual choices are your own. Just like if you added words. Now, just as if you added words to it, then that is your story that you are telling.
Yeah, no.
Do I sound super confident in my explanation?
No, you don't.
Okay.
Um,
Um,
but yeah, no,
now, but going back to this topic, it does add, like, I think you can make a case that adding the subtitles is transformative. I think that you can present that argument. I don't think it holds any water, especially since it's, and like this is one of their big things, like that the Kotaku article mentioned that that it's possible that because the subtitles that were added in the YouTube feature
as opposed
to the video, like it's not like on the screen.
Yeah.
It like, because like the actual video itself is not changed at all from the, like, the basically just the recording of what happened. So like, but even at that point, even if you added it to the screen or even just added it to the video, I don't know if that qualifies as transformative. I don't think translating equals transforming the work, if that makes sense.
I don't think it does either. So I mean, typically when they're referring to like transformative, they mean like, oh, Eminem released a new song. Well, I'm gonna remix it. Like that's typically what they refer to when they're speaking transformative. And I don't, like you said, I don't think adding subtitles is enough. Especially, again, like you said, since they only added them in the YouTube subtitles section, as opposed to on the, on the video itself.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, it sucks because they put like 8 months of work into this, and it just got taken down. Like, it wasn't even like, a copyright claim like demonetized the video or anything like that. It was just straight up taken down.
Yeah.
And it was manually done. Because you and I, we tried to upload a Devil May Cry Let's Play one time, and it got automatically flagged by Capcom. So it seems like maybe Capcom is just like a little more aggressive on these types of things.
Well, they probably have an entire library of like, oh, this cinematic, if it ever appears, claim it. Which, and then they sit on the video, because I mean, we disputed it, and then they never did anything. But that still took like a month of it sitting there before we got it back. Yeah, and at that point, we were like, we don't want to deal with this. So
yeah, it's just that was like, out of all the videos that we've put up, that and iDarb, one of the iDarb videos, are the only ones that have given us any trouble.
Yeah, and
well, in the Nintendo, but
well, yeah, but I mean that's just because, I mean it's Nintendo, and we go through their thing, which is weird, but but no, iDarb was claimed by like Time Magazine or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and we were like, no, and then it sat there disputed for like 4 weeks, and then it finally became ours again.
Yeah, that was funny. I forgot about that. It was Time. Yeah, it was like Time Warner or something like that. I'm like, I don't know if you like. I don't think you own anything here. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, and I think like you also made the interesting point, like before we started, or actually it was during our recording, but before we started the episode, you made the point that like the name of the YouTube channel is the exact name of the game.
Yeah, that part is that's where it gets really complicated, if you ask me, because assuming any of the videos on their channel, especially those relating to that game, were monetized, then at that point, like, and I mean, honestly, even having the channel named that without monetized videos is trademark infringement.
It could, I mean, like, I don't know if it's necessarily that. It's if the for whatever reason the game, like the channel was early, like created early enough, and like they never challenged it, then it becomes theirs, right? Like
That's not with trademark.
no,
Like,
you have to challenge the trademarks.
nope.
Yeah, you have to. You do have to
no.
protect. I'm like 90% sure that you have to protect your trademarks in the same way that you do copyright stuff.
Nope. Copyright is different. Trademark is like you own that thing. You own it forever and always, pretty much. That's why, like, back when mobile websites started becoming a thing, you had all these people going like, yeah, I'm gonna, buy up, like, Microsoft mobile website. So that, because I forget what the ending was, but it'd be like Microsoft dot like MB or something, right, for like mobile browser or something.
Yeah,
this was like way long ago. And you had all these people buying those up, and then like 3-4 years later, when Microsoft was actually like, hey, I want this, they would just basically say like, hey, you're violating the law, give us that, we'll pay you $20 or something. To cover essentially like the hosting fee that you paid in order to get this, but that's it.
Yeah.
I know because I'm fairly certain my parents tried to do that in order to, basically be like, well, we have it, you could buy it for like $200.
Yeah.
But no, when it comes to trademark, like, there isn't any sort of time gate on it. So like, if I went out and I started branding myself as, Microsoft or something,
Yeah.
it wouldn't matter if I was in business for 10 years. Once Microsoft finds out, they're able to do something.
Yeah.
And I suppose, like, the real catch, I don't know what the actual name of the channel translates to, so maybe the name of the channel is just, like, a character in the game and then an action. I don't know Japanese or anything, so it could be that all they have trademark on is Ace Attorney. And since that isn't in there, that's, probably why, but I don't know.
Okay, yeah, so I realized where I messed up. If you file a trademark, it has to go through a review, and then companies have 30 days to say, no, that is violating our trademark.
Oh, okay.
And then if they don't, then your trademark goes through.
Okay. So it would only happen if this YouTube channel filed for trademark of their own.
Yeah.
But I mean, they can still essentially bring down the hammer, like, if they wanted to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then, like you said, obviously, if they don't have a trademark for that title, then sucks for them.
Yeah. But I mean, again,
and to be clear, like,
in Japanese, like, that may just be gibberish, like, it could be, the man who did the murder or something, like, for all I know.
And also, to be clear, like, I just briefly looked that up on, like, Wikipedia. U.S. Trademark law. So, like, super factual and everything, but, like, that's what I remember it being from when I looked it up when I was younger. So take that with the grain of salt. But basically, long story short, I think that it's fine that they took it down. Like it was mentioned in the article as well that, like, other people have done similar things and they haven't been taken down. So they're kind of like and Garbage, the people behind the channel, they're kind of confused as to why they got taken down while other people haven't. I don't know anyone else who's done this, obviously, so, like, what games they've done, if it was Capcom, if it was whatever. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to talk about that because, we talk about DMCA a lot, so I figured people would be interested to hear what we had to say.
Yeah. Sorry, I was trying to see if typing in the English characters of the game name would result in anything off of Google Translate, and it doesn't. For a moment, I had high school student, like while I was in the middle of typing, but that went away.
Okay.
I don't. Google Translate doesn't work very well, so.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's not great. I use it to, like, when I was taking French in college and high school, I would use it to like double check myself. But there were times when I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is wrong, and then it would be like, no, you're right, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is wrong. Yeah. Like.
Yeah.
It was weird. It was like a weird relationship with Google Translate, but it was quick and easy.
Yep.
All right. Well, we have about another 10 minutes left. I figured we said all we needed to say about that. But I guess, like, you know, let's finish up with just like a chill, like, what are we playing? Like, what's going on in our gaming lives? What are we excited for? That kind of stuff. Unless you have something else that you wanted to talk about.
No. I mean, I know you mentioned that a Doomfist is now going to be a character in Overwatch. Like, he's announced. He's on the PTR for PC and everything. Mm-hmm. I'm excited about that. Like, he looks like a cool character and everything, but I obviously play on Xbox, so I don't have access to the PTR. Yeah, like, he looks like he could be really fun, but he also seems rather broken. Especially his ult. I don't know if you've looked up anything about him or not.
Yeah,
but,
I've read about him.
Well, his ult, he basically, like, launches himself up into the sky, and then he comes crashing down. And what happens is, basically, from my understanding, is, like, he'll disappear from the map, and as, like, if you are Doomfist, like, you get, like, this big reticle on your screen that you can move around freely. So, like, if you are outside, you can now, like, go into a fucking building. And then, like, once, like, the circle on the inside hits the edges of the outside circle, is when he comes crashing down. And I don't know if there's any way that you can, like, make it happen faster, or if it is guaranteed to be, like, that certain amount of time. Yeah, that part seems a little broken to me. Because I feel like if... I don't know. It's just a little strange. Because on one hand, like, you know, there are obviously maps that will go from outdoors to indoors very quickly, and, like, you can't be like, oh, well, you used your ult outdoors, so now you can't go inside with it, because that would be kind of shitty.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I feel... that just doesn't feel good. Because, like, if someone uses it, like, outside and around two corners, and then all of a sudden, like, you're walking through a building and kaboom, you're dead.
Yeah. There's a lack of interactivity.
Yeah.
And from what I've heard, he's not too strong. Like, he has, like, a lot of potential, but he's super squishy and basically a melee.
Sort of, yeah.
Like, he has a gun, but it's not like, it's like a Mercy pistol, not a Soldier 76 gun. From what I've heard. In terms of strength, like, just
no, it's pretty strong from what I've seen. It's more of like if you were to take Mercy's pistol and Reaper's shotgun and make him have a baby, because it's definitely a shotgun.
Okay.
And
so he's a close range character. He's squishy.
Yeah, he's not super squishy though. There's an ability that he can use that, like, generates overshield or something.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, again, he's only on the PTR. There's probably a lot of balancing that's going to happen. I know that there are a few bugs. Like, sometimes his ult will send you through the map and then you die.
Fun.
So there's definitely some work that needs to be done before he's actually released. But I don't know. It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
It might actually get me playing Overwatch again for a little bit.
Yeah.
because I've stopped recently, but that's mainly because I've been focusing on playing the gigantic stack of single-player games that I have, including, you know, Prey, Dishonored 2, Doom. I need to finish Assassin's Creed Syndicate at some point, because that was alright enough that I want to finish it.
Yeah. So you got a lot of games to play?
Yeah.
See, on the Xbox sale, I bought Skyrim Remastered, the whatever the full name is, the remastered edition, and I got Life is Strange. I'm excited to play that, and The Witcher 3. I got all that.
Oh, you finally fucking bought The Witcher 3.
It was pretty cheap. So I have Skyrim installed, so at some point in the next few weeks I'm going to play that, maybe do some sort of mod videos.
Nice.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there. Cause I don't know what I would be able to add that you don't do already for those. But they're wildly successful in terms of our channel, so we'll see what happens.
I mean, you could just make like a, you know, amateur hour modding series, and just have it just be like recording of you downloading and installing mods, and then, you know, crashing your game.
I'm not dumb. Like, I'm not gonna crash the game that much.
I know. I was just.
I
saying,
might
like,
crash the game a bit, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's gonna like I have some ideas for what I want to do, but no guarantees on anything great. Probably a lot of cringe. So much cringe. Anyway, so you guys can look forward to that at some point. And as always, I'm playing Gears of War. Recently hit Diamond. So, or again for the season. That's about it for me. Play some Hearthstone. Yeah.
Nice.
I keep wanting to get back into League of Legends, but then I remember how much I just get mad when I play League of Legends.
Yeah, I've never heard anything good come out of you when you're.
It's so much fun when everything happens right. Like when like you have a team that works together and like they're not dumb. And like the way that like League of Legends works with that is that like it's like, hey, I know that you've had a rough couple matches. So what I'm gonna do is like we're just gonna put you on a good team and like everything's gonna go well, you're gonna have a great time. And you're like, League is so much fun. And then like you might have like another one of those games where you're like, oh man, League is so great. And then you have like a tough match, right? Where it's like, oh, it's like a bit of a struggle, but you still win. Or like if you lose, like it's an okay loss.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're just like, okay, that was a fun game. Back and forth, whatever. And then it just shits all over your cereal. It's like, oh man, you've had your fun, you're hooked again. And now your teammates are literally gonna just like walk up to the other tower and die. And when that happens, and like it happens every 5 matches or so, because it's like you've had your fun, now we're just like we're gonna destroy your soul a little bit more. Thankfully, I'm a redhead and I don't have a soul, so that's why I was able to fight through it for as long as I did.
Yeah,
but it's so frustrating because people are bad. And like the worst is when like the people are bad, but they tell you that you're bad. And they try to say like, "Hey, you should do this." And I'm like, "Why? Why should I go underneath their tower?" Like
yeah.
Cuz like there are times where like you should go underneath the tower and like, you know, do a tower dive, get the kill, and then get out. But there's other times where no.
Yeah, I know how that can be. I deal with that same kind of thing with Overwatch, which is honestly part of why I stopped playing, because I kept getting put on super crappy teams where, you know, I would have people playing like Diva when the other team has like a fucking Zarya, a Winston, and basically like everything that's going to sit there and just straight counter diva, and then they would refuse to switch, or
Yeah.
you know, I get people that play soldier and then only manage to get like 10 kills in a game.
Yeah. There was a video of that in Gears as well. A little bit differently. There was these two guys, they were teammates. And we were playing Escalation, and then like Escalation, there's 3 hills on the map that you're fighting for control of. And like each team has like their quote unquote home hill, which is close to theirs, and they would sit in ours for the entire match. Except for whenever their team would leave their home hill, they would scurry across the map and very quickly cap their home hill, but then run back to ours. And they did that every fucking round. And it was the most annoying shit in the world, because that game type is all about map control, and it was basically 3v5.
Yeah.
And like it was so weird because like I saw them fight a couple times when they actually had to, and they were good at fighting. They just didn't understand how to move around the map.
Yeah.
And they started sending messages to us saying like, "Why are you guys losing the game for us?" And we're like, and I'm just like, "What the
like,
fuck?"
Excuse me?
And we ended up, my friend and I, we ended up fighting or matching against them in the next game on the same map, and they did the exact same shit.
Yeah.
And they ended up losing. But there were a couple times where me and my friend were like, we know exactly what they're going to do, so we baited them to do their run across the map, and we killed them as they were running across the map. And it was so much fun. And then we played them again the next game, and we beat them again. And it felt so good.
You were like, sorry, man, I'm really bad at this game.
Yeah.
Anyways, we should probably wrap this up.
Yeah, you're right.
So,
thank you guys for joining us on this episode of the Couchcast. This is number 36. I think that's what we said. Yep. It's 36. Yeah. We're doing things out of order because we have plans coming up that, yeah.
It's going to make both of us, not here during our regular recording time, which just kind of complicates everything. So
yeah. So next week there may only be one podcast because of reasons, but we'll do our best, and we'll definitely have a video coming out on the normal days. Just don't know what it is yet. Yeah. So we'll see you guys next time on Split Couch Games.
Bye.